When you read things in the Bible, you can't take a single verse in isolation. Now, I know Christians do this a lot because that's the only way they can really support their theology from the Bible. But actually, Jesus in the context is not claiming to be God or equal to God or anything like that. First, he's talking to the Jews and he's telling them, these disciples I have, they are safe with me. Nobody can take them out of my hand, right? I've given them the message that God has given me to give them, and now they're safe. And he says, my Father who has given me everything is greater than all, even greater than himself, right? And he says, no one can take them from my Father. The Father and I are one. Like, we're on the same team is what he means. It's very clear from the context. So the Jews misunderstood him, like Christians do, and they thought he's claiming to be equal to God. So they pick up stones to stone him. He said, for what good work are you going to stone me? They said, not for any good work, but you are making yourself equal to God. And Jesus then quotes them Psalm 82:6 to give them context. He says, doesn't the law say, you to whom the word of God come, you are gods and you are sons of the Most High, but you will die like mortals do. So Jesus is telling them, we're talking metaphorical here. And even God has told us in the Psalms that whoever the word of God, who's ever carrying that, they're gods on earth, but not really, not literally. And they are sons of the Most High in a metaphorical sense, but they're going to still die like mortals because they're mortals. There's only one immortal God. Right? He gives them this context. And he gives you more context later in John in 17:20. He prays for his disciples. He says, oh, Father, make them one like we are one. Now, do you think there's only one disciple? All the disciples are one single human? Or does it mean that all the disciples are on the same team, on the same page, with the same goal, the same mission? And Jesus even says this, because Christians will say, like, when you quote them John 17:3, where he says, you're the only true God. He says, give me the glory you gave me from the beginning. Jesus says, that glory you've given me, I'm giving it to my disciples. So if that glory God gave him makes him God, then he just made the disciples God. Right? So this falls apart, this proof falls apart when you look at things in context. The Bible actually is monotheistic. The problem is John is very mystical. So he says a lot of mystical things. And, mystics, they always kind of merge the humans and the gods connection too much. SubhanAllah.